This is a HeadGum podcast.
This episode of Coffee with Crachel is brought to you by Audible. To get your free 30-day trial, you can visit audible.com/CWC.
Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Coffee with Crachel. I'm Chris.
And I'm Rachel, and I've got really bad allergies today, guys.
Yo, as soon as I woke up this morning, I was just like immediately sinuses clogged. You don't breathe today, Chris.
I know. Like, we've already told you guys that we sleep with a fan at night for noise because the dorm rooms at Millersville, like, forever changed the way that we slept.
Honestly, I enjoy it though because I don't want to hear the random bumps in the night. If there's a ghost in my apartment, I'm not going to know about it, and I like it that way.
Oh my god. Speaking of ghosts in our apartment, last night, I swear we were visited by someone.
Rachel was trying to communicate.
I was. So I was sitting on the couch. We were setting up our new PS4, which we will get into, of course. And both cats started looking towards the window. There was nothing going on outside. It was like super late at night, no noise. And they just all like, they were very tense and they were moving their head like they were following something like in the room. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so clearly a ghost is here. And Chris like didn't buy it.
It's
but
the ghost of Squeezy's past.
I know. So I was like, if there's a ghost here, like, can you just show me something? And I saw as soon as I said that, across, like, out the window, I saw one light go on in a room. And, like, okay, I get it. Like, someone, honey, I'm home. Like, I get it. But to me, that was, like...
confirmation.
Confirmed ghost. So I think I might have my first paranormal storytime video.
Oh, my God. I don't think that is a storytime worthy video.
What if I stretched that out? It's like, all right, so let me give you the backstory.
So we got Squeezy on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I love storytime videos, though. Like, I love, like, dragging them, also participating, also being in them, watching them. Like, it's my favorite type of YouTube content right now. But anyway.
So, the coffee that Crachel was enjoying today.
Please do not refer to us as this.
It's from Elizabeth in New York, and she sent us Glen Edith Coffee Roasters coffee.
That's like a very, like, chubby-looking bag. I like it.
It is very chubby. It's also
wide.
matte. I enjoy the matte bag. I don't know
matte.
why. It's the Indonesia blend of Flores Komodo, semi-washed gooseberries and bittersweet chocolate, and fun.
And fun? It literally says that?
Yeah, it says fun on there.
Oh my god. You just showed me. That's so fun. That's fun, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much because I'm drinking that fucking soy creamer, that's all I taste anymore. The soy. But maybe once I get past, like, the new nuance that is putting soy in my coffee every day, maybe I'll start to remember what, like, the rest of it tastes like.
What does coffee taste like? I don't remember.
I honestly feel like all I'm paying attention to is the soy these days.
I mean, that's not a bad thing either.
It tastes very good, yeah. Have you converted yet?
Not yet. I'm just finishing off the half and half that we have here, and then I'm going to do the soy because I want to. It tasted really good.
Yeah, we're finally, like, dairy-free at this point.
Pretty much.
In the house, if we get rid of that. It's the last thread. We gave up yogurt. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really eating them too much anyway when we were getting them.
It's like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like yogurt is just, like, too much work. It's really not. But, like, regular Greek yogurt, like, I feel like you got to get that, like, little crusty little edge of yogurt into the cup, you know? Like a Yoplait, those are, like, ready to go. Like, the thick and creamy from Yoplait that I used to eat.
I, like, really miss those types
Shitty
of
yogurt,
yogurts.
like,
but, like, I just
yogurt.
know that they're bad for you.
Yeah. And we moved on to Greek, and then... Now
get
we're
into the
done.
Greek.
But there's coconut yogurt, and I already like coconut flavored yogurt, so I'm sure I'd like coconut yogurt. But anyway, also, what else did we get?
Elizabeth also sent an Alex and Annie bracelet. Is that how you say it? Annie?
Is it Annie or Annie? I think Annie's the white version.
All right, Annie Ann's. Annie Ons.
Oh my god. And it has a jellyfish on it, and you know me, my love of the aquatic. So that was awesome.
That
so
was
thank you.
a very nice bracelet.
It's
Thank
also
you so
my
much.
first Alex and Annie, Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like, I just don't know what I'm doing with that. So if you ever want to have your coffee featured at the top of this show, you can always send it to our P.O. Box, which is in our Twitter bio, which is CoffeeWithChrachel. It's also on our website, CoffeeWithChrachel.net. And yeah.
So
basically.
I also have a coffee fact here.
Oh shit, I forgot about this.
Totally forgot the coffee fact. All right, so you ready for this? Ready for this, guys?
I don't know.
All coffee in the world is grown in what's called the bean belt.
I love that.
The beach belt. And the bean belt is the area between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn. And so that makes it that Hawaii is the only state in the U.S. that can grow and does grow coffee.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
That is very interesting.
I think I knew the bean belt, but like you just unlocked that knowledge in me. Think about not to get totally off topic, but like think about all of the little facts and all of the knowledge and education that you have stored inside your brain that you forget to utilize.
Yeah, that is just like in some forgotten world until like something random just brings it back.
I picture all those marbles from Inside Out. All those dusty little marbles.
Honestly, what a great, what is that, euphemism? Is it a...
I don't know, just portrayal?
Portrayal of my memory.
I know. That movie was lit. Oh, did you see that Finding Dory is looking...
Oh my God, it's going to come out today.
Yeah, I know. I'm not seeing it today because, I don't know, I'm like really just, I don't go to movie premieres anymore because the anxiety. So I'm probably going to see that on like a fucking Tuesday afternoon,
Yeah.
Just go. But I saw that it's going to have like the largest opening in Pixar history.
That deserves it.
I know, but I'm honestly surprised compared to
Toy Story 3.
Story.
Yeah, I would have thought that would have been the biggest.
But Finding Nemo is my favorite one of the whole thing. So I was like, I'm absolutely seeing it in theaters at least once, but I want to go twice, if I'm being honest. Because I know I would love to.
I mean, it's going to be good. Like,
the first
there's no
one,
doubt.
I will go and just experience it all and cry my eyes out. And then the second time I'll go in and get to like really listen and look at all the pretty stuff.
That was like when... I saw Inception like a million times. The first time I saw it, I was just like experiencing it, and I did not know what the fuck was going on. Then I saw it like a couple more times so I could actually try and decipher what's happening.
I saw that movie like 5 times.
I did too.
I need to chill out. Like that Interstellar we saw a lot. Anything in space or the ocean, I'm like, sign me up.
Anything Christopher Nolan, I've seen like a billion times to try and understand what's going on.
I know. God. But anyway, I'm very excited for Finding Dory to come out. I'm really trying hard not to be spoiled.
Besides like seeing some of the characters, I haven't really and a basic plot line kind of.
People are being nice about not spoiling it, but then the other day I was using like the TV and I was at like the YouTube app.
Okay.
And like one of the suggested like recommended videos was like some conspiracy channel that like does like movie theory kind of things, and there was like this theory about Dory and it kind of gave away a little bit of something in the title of it, and so that kind of made me sad. I was like, so I feel like, you know how you were avoiding Fallout for reviews? Yeah. That's kind of how I am right now with Finding Dory. I'm like, I don't want to have anything influencing me at all going into this movie because I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, I hate that part of the YouTube app. Like on the Xbox and on the TV, like the recommended section, it's never anything that actually pertains to me. It's always something really random.
Yeah,
and
like kids shows.
Yeah, and it'll be things sometimes that'll spoil shit, and it's really annoying.
Like the regular YouTube app, or like when you're on a computer, the recommended stuff there is like stuff that you actually want to see, or like it's popular stuff, or people that get like paid to put their shit up there or whatever. I don't know how fucking top pages on YouTube really works, but I know there's money involved probably. But on like any of like the other devices in the house, it's just like random kids show. I'm like, what the fuck? Did you also see that they added what's his face? The guy that paints the nature.
Bob Ross?
Yeah, they added his entire collection to Netflix.
I did see that. It popped up there. And honestly, I loved that show so much.
How soothing is that?
That would honestly be perfect for, like, if you are feeling particularly anxious or something like that.
I would watch that and use my coloring book and just be like, boom.
I'm Bob Ross, too.
I know. No. I used to watch him, and there was someone on, what is it, like, not the Craft Channel, but... yeah, whatever the Craft Channel was. Not DIY, but there was some other one.
I don't know.
And there was this woman that would make, like, painted flowers. And the way that she would apply the paint, like, to the palette, it would be, like, a stripe of 3 colors. And then she would add, like, a fan brush to it. And the way that she waved it.
Yeah!
You know
I remember that! Oh, my God!
Yeah, I just unlocked something, guys.
See, there you go. That marble just came forward.
I know. Ew! You dusted that little marble up. because I used to love that. I don't know if it was...
Oh my god.
You know what? And I don't think it was an actual show. I think it was like an infomercial telling you to buy her DVDs.
Yeah. It was I don't think that was a show, but it was definitely like an advertisement. They sold me on that, honestly.
Honestly, I wanted to. I was like, she's going to teach me how to paint. And I never did it. There's been many infomercials. The only one that I've bought into, which I didn't even buy it like from TV. Like, all right, you guys listening, has anyone ever bought
something from an infomercial?
Like on TV, like called the fucking number, got the deal. I want to know. And tell me if it was like a good deal, a scam. I want details. Yeah. We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Honestly, that shark infomercial, the vacuum sells me like every time.
When they're like on a little tiny square of hardwood floor and then they just like throw a bunch of nuts and bolts and then you see the vacuum go in and it gets everything and I'm like, yo. Or bleach.
Yes.
I mean, anytime they dip a fucking yellow t-shirt in something and it came out half white,
like I'm like... OxyClean and stuff like that.
True.
Yeah.
But the only one that we have is, we have a NutriBullet, but I used to fuck so much with those Magic Bullet commercials.
Yeah, my mom had a Magic Bullet, and so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has a Magic Bullet.
Did she order it from TV or just, like, bought it at Target?
I'm sure she probably just bought it, like, in store or something.
I'm pretty sure my mom has bought something from an infomercial.
Oh.
I think it was, like, this... thing that you use to put in your dryer and you like put it in the back and like when you pull it out, kind of like one of those drain snakes, it takes out like all the lint. And it was like a really like, it was kind of like a ShamWow type of product where it's like a one task type of thing.
I know my dads have bought things from there because Bob was really into QVC and HSN. So
well, we did that. I mean, I never did, but my parents did.
I'm sure they have definitely bought something from an infomercial before.
Back when, like, Dooney and Burke bags were actually, like, wearable, you know? And they'd get those deals. My sister had the bag that was, like, cream with rainbow-colored Dooney and Burke emblem all over, and the zipper was rainbow. And honestly, looking back... That's a very LGBT bag, and I like it.
Wow.
Like, why was she carrying that? You know? But anyway.
Speaking of deals...
Oh, my God. We got a really good deal yesterday.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about E3 last week or last episode, and just even more after that it's been happening, and PlayStation 4 just looks like even more appealing than Xbox One, way more than it did.
I thought you said peeling. I'm like, do they have a sunburn?
So we were already going to get a PS4, but we were like, this is just like, we really want this, and then
we weren't going to get it until like August. TBH.
Yeah, and so I was looking around because I knew like Father's Day sales were coming up, and I was like, well, electronics are always on sale during that time.
I forgot women do not like electronics.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never see a sale at a Home Depot on Mother's Day.
Yo, honestly, you're right.
I'm so right. But I went onto the Target Cartwheel app because I was just like looking around, and they had them for like 15% off PlayStation 4 consoles.
And that's like the best deal that I've seen since like Black Friday. And obviously we're not fucking waiting until Black Friday this time.
Yeah, and we got to get it for No Man's Sky, which comes out in August.
Yeah, so, and we were originally going to get it in June because that's when the game was supposed to come out. Yeah. But then they pushed it off until August, and now I'm just like, whatever, it's still June and I still want to play it.
So I went and I grabbed it, had to get the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 version of it because that's the only one that they had available.
When you texted me, I was so scared that you were going to come home with a fucking camo print goddamn console.
Oh, no, I would not have gotten it if it wasn't just like the straight up black console. Like,
yeah, because right now our television stand is so sleek.
Yes.
And everything is the same color, and it just looks so good.
All the consoles are black.
But we're going to get rid of our Apple TV because we have the old one. And if you guys have ever had the original Apple TV, it's fucking a piece of shit.
Yeah, in between having a smart TV and like all the consoles and stuff like that, we don't need that for anything.
I know, like I can get YouTube up on the TV with like 3 different things. So I don't need the Apple TV.
So we got the PS4 and it's here. It's set up. We spent all night just like fucking around with the menus. And yeah, it's a lot smaller and I love that. And there's also just like, there's not a lot of frills.
Oh yeah. You were telling me that it's a much more simplistic, just kind of menus. And Xbox is kind of like, how much image can we throw on a screen until you can't look at this anymore?
Yes.
And that's what Xbox looks like, and it's like all advertisements. And then PS4 is just like...
Here's all the menus to get to where you need to go. It's nothing like fancy or
there's
anything
no
like
ads.
That. Yeah.
It's like a navy blue, just kind of like tranquil. They play tranquil-ass music.
Yep.
And they say PlayStation. And I like that. You know, it's better than Xbox's like... Wah. Like, that's what the Xbox noise is. They just have, you know?
Mm-hmm. So
anyway.
we were just browsing through the game library.
Which was so fun.
Guys.
There's so much more games.
If you have been watching our Twitch streams, we've had, like, some games that we've been playing, and, like, Monopoly has been fun. I'll say that. Like, Monopoly Fabrizio, like, come on. You know. He was a good time.
Gone Home was great.
Yeah. But now, there's literally, we picked probably, like, 20 to 30 games out that are just like random indie games plus like some big name games too that we are so excited that we can stream.
Yeah, we literally like went in there thinking what are the games that we can play live, and there's so many like random little indie games. It reminds me of like the 360
Soft Body.
It's just this game, and all it says is like you are a
plushy worm or something like that.
You are a gelatinous worm or something.
I think it was Squishy.
Squishy. And there's a game where it's like a simulator game, which are always fun for like a little stupid stream, like Goat Simulator or something. But this one's like you're a cat and your main goal is to knock everything off all the surfaces.
Yeah.
And like that's just so fucking on brand.
It is. Like, we're definitely gonna get that one. Also, Surgeon Simulator.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be
that's
multiple
Octodad
right there. We'll be fucking that up.
The one where you're a piece of bread.
Yeah, I am bread.
And it's just a bread simulator. Like there's just a lot of like weird shit, but there's also like a bunch of story games that we have missed out on.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna get The Last of Us, and everybody's been suggesting Until Dawn as well,
and Uncharted.
Yeah, I wanted to get the Uncharted like box collection PS4, but they didn't have it. Yep.
And there's also a bunch of games that are just like tranquil games that are kind of like Gone Home in a sense, or like Lifeless Planet, where it's like an open world exploration, but there's not a lot of dialogue. Those make for really good streams as well.
Like Journey and Flower are the two that I'm thinking of. And Koi, yeah. So
there's just a bunch of things. If you have a recommendation for a game that we should play, or you think that would make a great stream, you should definitely you should telephone us. Call in our hotline. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you going to mess up all your words again this episode?
What did I say last time?
I don't know. You read somebody's fucking...
I just said something and I screamed.
Yeah. It was at the end of last
I don't know
episode.
what was happening, but you ever get your merds wixed? You know? I love that little nuanced line there.
But if you guys want to add us on PlayStation Network, I'm Chris Considers.
And I'm just Rachel Whitehurst, which... so nice that they let me have the whole name not Rachel.
Yeah.
And I felt like just so proud typing that in there. Mm-hmm. And also you get to like pick your little icon, which is like half the fun for me. And
we picked the most fucked up ones.
You got like a weird ass duck. I'm a pufferfish.
Yeah.
But I almost went with the really random, like, realistic 3D looking pine cone.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
why was that pine
really
cone
nice.
so vivid? That should be the title of this episode. Why is that pine cone so vivid? Because I don't know. It's a little too extra. If you have a PS4, you let me know.
Those pictures were so much more random than the ones that are available on Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox is just like a Dorito and then a Mountain Dew.
Like, Zach had a fucking Brontosaurus as his.
Yeah.
Like,
I told Zach, I was like, that is so you. And we can finally play with Zach now. It's going to be so fun.
One of the reasons we really wanted to get a PS4 is because, like, 99% of all of our friends are on PS4, yeah. So it's like, we really just, like, now we can actually play with some other people, too. Yeah,
and, like, you can play Overwatch with, like, Binchos, which you've done, and you can play with other people that you're friends with.
Seriously, I'm going to be getting Overwatch again on the PS4, and so add me, and we can play together. You know, maybe we could do some streams where it's just a group of us.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Girl, let's do it.
All right.
I'm very excited about it, though. It's been a long time coming. And now I get to know the controller before the game that I really want to play comes out, you know?
Yeah, true.
So, exciting shit.
So, another thing that's tech-related that happened is that we learned a little bit more. Last week we were talking about Apple's stuff that was launching, and we were really excited because iOS 10 said that, like, you'd be able to get rid of, like, the shitty apps you don't use, like Tips and Watch.
Tips,
Find Friends, and Watch. Like, I don't have a watch. I'm never going to get a watch. Fuck off.
I don't have a watch. I'm never going to have a watch. I don't care about finding friends anymore. And I don't need your tips.
Yeah, and Newsstand, too. I'm not reading on my phone.
I know. Well, we found out that when you delete the app, it's just literally deleting it from, like, your fucking pages on your phone, so, like, the screen, but it's still going to be stored in your phone, like,
yeah, it's
storage.
not freeing up any memory when you do that.
And, like, I know that they're only, like, what, it was, like, 150 megabytes per thingy?
No, like, in total for all of them.
Oh, well, still, I don't give a fuck. That's, like, one selfie session.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like one burst moment with the cats.
I could get like one more app with that, and
True.
Honestly, I'd rather just get one more random game than have
You know what
any of
I
that
currently
shit.
have to do? I mean, I know I really need to delete more photos because I haven't done that in like a week.
Me too. I have so many.
I know, but I literally, if I want to do a YouNow, I have to delete Periscope, and if I have to do a Periscope, I delete YouNow. If I want to use my phone. Isn't that stupid?
That's so fucked up.
So that's cool. There's like a couple of apps on my iPhone that like just grow even though there's nothing being stored in them. Like Snapchat. Oh, well, I guess like
I don't know.
Your history of a chat with other people
maybe
gets stored.
I'm guessing if you do a lot of like actual photos in your chats instead of just like the text part, you know.
I mean, I just like barely use that function. I pretty much only like add stuff to my story.
Yeah, same.
Because, like, it's public, yeah. But I don't know. Like, Periscope does that, too, and I'm 100% not storing anything on that. So I don't know why it just, like, randomly grows, but it needs to stop. Miracle grow on that one. I don't know.
I'm really sad about that. I thought I was going to be getting some free space.
I know. I think that would be better. I don't understand what they're doing over there. It's fine, though. I just can't wait to have an iPhone that's, like, gonna be the right generation that's happening right now or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
I'm always behind. I got so many people offering to get me that fucking selfie case that lights up, guys.
They can't get it on a 5S.
They don't have it. Like, I want that case for my Snapchat capabilities, for my selfies, for just life. I wanted that case. And they're, like, expensive. And if I was going to get one for free, I was, like, all about it. And then I found out that you can only get them on 5S. And I had to, like, answer these emails being like, I don't have a 6. Like, that's so embarrassing.
I know.
I know it's very, like, first world, but, like, I really want that fucking case, guys. I hate, like, honestly, though, when there's a new phone that gets released in, like, a new size, and they just, like, stop making phone cases for the last one, because, like, honestly, 5s are still only 2 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, chill out. I should be able to buy a fucking phone case. Or a charging case or whatever.
We'll get the 7, whatever that
Is it
happens.
a 7?
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's going to be 7 is next.
That's an interesting number. I mean, maybe we're always going to have the odd number ones.
Yeah.
But we don't get the evens. Like, we won't get the 8, but we'll get the 9.
Well, I mean, there's a 6 right now.
I know, but we don't have the 6. We're going to the 7.
Oh.
And we have a 5.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so we're always going to be on the odd ones.
Maybe we'll just skip, 8 and then go to 9. 7, 8, 9. Anyway, that's not important.
So, I don't know if you had anything you want to bring up right now, but I do have another random thing that happened.
For it, bitch.
So, there was a decision, I don't know if you guys know a lot about net neutrality.
Oh, yeah.
But it's basically just the fight to keep the internet truly free. Mm-hmm. And so, like, companies like AT&T is, like, the main person behind this shit, is trying to make it so that way that they can control not only, like, what websites you're allowed to see on their networks, but, like, how much internet speed they would allow for certain things, so they could, like,
hike up your price of your phone plan so that things load faster.
Yeah, or like, downgrade your Netflix, like, the quality of your Netflix because it uses up too much bandwidth or something like that. So
yeah, they're basically trying to destroy Netflix because Netflix takes up, like, what isn't it, like...
It's 50% of the U.S. bandwidth or something
Isn't
like
that
that.
crazy?
That's wild.
I thought it was the world.
It might be the world.
I think it was. like, very large number.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay.
So
we get it.
It's really fucked up that they're, like, just trying to destroy everything. And luckily, though, the FCC, which is, like, kind of, like, in control of, like, the regulations for that shit, has been really cool. And they've been fighting for net neutrality. And it was ruled in a federal court that now broadband internet is classified as a utility, not a luxury. So now that leads it to more government regulation, but that's a good thing in this case because it prevents like Comcast and AT&T from being assholes and like
especially Comcast.
Comcast and AT&T are the two worst ones.
Yeah, and just because like. In elementary schools and public schools, middle schools, all those schools, like they're using the internet so inundated in the lesson plans. Yeah. And these are public schools with like, I just think
so much of
it has to be
business
utility.
world is like it needs the internet to exist. And so like
think about like how 90% of the fucking businesses in Seattle run on the Square app.
Yeah, exactly.
Like no one has what is the purpose of that, I guess?
What?
Like having the Square app instead of like what's the alternative to that?
I don't know like how exactly like a regular card reader works, but I'm assuming it's just an easier it's really
way.
Simple. It's just like Square. I think it's like Square takes like 10 cents of every dollar.
Okay.
And so that's just like the fee you pay to use Square, and then you just get it in your like a PayPal account or something like that, and it makes it really simple for people.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering. Because, I mean, everyone here uses it. Like, pretty much every business I go to. And if you don't know what it is, it's like when you ring out at a business and they have like an iPad on like a little stand and you like run your card through like a little tiny white square. Yeah. And like you go to farmers markets here and people have those. Like, they just have them everywhere.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't know why this wasn't done sooner because, like, internet is a utility. Like, everything we do runs off of the internet. It's not a luxury that we have internet now. Like, so much is based on the internet. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool. And
that is exciting.
I mean, I from what I read, it's, like, nearly not over yet.
Oh.
And, like, apparently when the new president is elected, if it's somebody that we don't particularly like, they could remove Tom Wheeler, who's, like, the chairman of the FCC, and they could just like completely fuck everything over.
That'll be awesome if that happens. I'm excited. So another thing we wanted to talk about was last night's filibuster.
Yes, filibuster, which is like one of the most random things. The American government does a lot of weird processes,
weird
and like the filibuster is definitely one of the weirdest ones, I'd say.
I know, but it's like it's so exciting to watch.
Yeah,
especially if you're in support of it.
I wanted to watch it at work, but like I couldn't get the video player to load, and so it wasn't working for me.
I didn't know where I could watch it, so I was just kind of catching up via the internet. But
Twitter, basically.
It ran for 15 hours.
Yes,
and it was for basically allowing the vote for two different gun legislation things to go through. Just to get to the vote. Like, we're not even to get anything passed, just to, like, vote on it.
Yeah,
like,
I believe it was Chris Murphy from Connecticut. He was the guy that started the filibuster, and it was like all the Democrats were there rallying to get this vote.
Mm-hmm. And everybody online was, like, passing around the phone number where you could call in and say that you support the filibuster,
yes,
And
exactly.
So, just really cool when it went on for 15 hours, and then he did get to have the vote go through.
Yeah, so they're actually just going to vote on things instead of, like, the alternative was to just keep business as usual, and whenever those, like, proposed things show up next, that's when they'd get voted on.
Like,
now
this
they're
is
moved to the front.
This has been pressing for years, but it's especially pressing right now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how that turns out, but
hopefully
I'm also...
the vote goes in a favorable way.
I honestly, doubt it.
So before we get into the questions section, I do just want to point out that next week we're actually going to be having a very cool guest on the show. So we are going to be having somebody that has worked on video games and movies and TV shows as the musical, I don't know if it was a composer or...
makes the music
for games, movies, and TV shows. And so we're going to be having a whole episode dedicated to kind of an interview with them, find out more about the way things work, how you... Behind the scenes, and like a little bit about their life as well, too. So if you guys want to ask, if you have any questions or anything you're curious about in that regards... Like
video game development, TV and movie development, in regards to like music or just like any questions that you might have insight on, Yeah,
send an email to CoffeeWithChrachel@gmail.com because I'm kind of building up like our little interview that we're going to do, and I'd like to just hear what you guys would be interested in learning about.
He did the music for Peggle 2, okay? AKA, like, one of my favorite games. So I am going to find out so much about Peggle.
Yes.
And that's my goal from this. Very exciting shit. I'm really pumped to hear about it. And he did the music for Oxenfree, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did the music for Oxenfree.
So, and we just streamed that. So, exciting.
Exciting. If you want to catch those streams, they are on our YouTube channel.
Yep. We put the same channel with all of the podcasts. If you're listening to this via YouTube, which I know not many people do, but it's a bold choice.
It's been growing.
I know.
You guys have been listening a little bit more on YouTube. I mean, it's convenient if you want to throw it up on like a TV or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's probably why.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I would use it if I didn't have like an iPhone and an Apple TV.
Because your iPhone's not really that loud unless you have like a little thing for it.
Yes.
Though my trick is you put it in a little bowl and it amplifies the sound.
Wow.
Hacks.
You are hacking the sound
I'm
waves.
pretty sure I like looked that up on the internet. But like when I listen to like Apple Music in the shower, I don't have my phone in the shower, obviously, and I know it's really bad to have your phone in the bathroom like with the steam, but you know what? I don't care at this point. But I put it in the sink, make sure the sink is dry, of course.
Yes.
And the sink that that just amplifies the sound. So
it has a bowl-like, shape to it.
A bowl-like texture.
A bowl-like texture.
I really want one of those like Bluetooth speakers that you put in your shower because I always have music when I'm showering because I'm gonna be in there for a while, guys. I have to like deep condition, like
shaving and deep conditioning.
Oh, shave. Let's not be too hasty here. It's like
the random time in a blue moon when you decide you want to,
aka the day before any event that's for a dress. I mean, girl, that's why we wear the maxis.
Exactly. So we're going to get into some questions here, but we got a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. As you guys heard earlier, this episode is brought to you in part by Audible, and they have been really nice, and they have offered us a free trial to all of our listeners. If you don't know, Audible is an online source for over 180,000 different ebooks and spoken word documents. So they've got a lot of things to offer there. Rachel, what have we been listening to right now?
So, as you guys know, like 98% of my book collection is still in Pennsylvania, and so
that's really upsetting. So we've been listening to Audible books.
Yeah, to fill the void of being bookless. So the book that we've been listening to is actually one of my old-time favorites. It's by David Levithan, and it's called The Lover's Dictionary. And I wanted to listen to it because, one, it's one of my favorites, like I said, and two, it's an LGBT author, and I just thought it would be like an appropriate time in our lives to be listening, and
that concept for that book to me is really ingenious. It's like it's a dictionary, but it's telling a story of a lover's relationship, but it's not in order at all.
Yeah, it's very broken up, and like their relationship is obviously really complex, and so the way that the story is told, it's like each page is a word. So like say the word is like malicious, and then instead of like giving the definition, even though it kind of looks like it's going to be in that format, it'll tell you like a little, it's almost like poetry, like the way that it's done in the audiobook version is really pretty, and it's just like a nice soothing listen, but it's just like if you pay attention to the storyline, it's just the way that the relationship unfolds and everything is just really, really interesting.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check out The Lover's Dictionary or any of his other books or any of the other 180,000 books that they have to offer, make sure you go to audible.com/CWC. You'll get your free 30-day trial. All right, benches, your questions are first. Going to Patreon. Checking out here first. If you want to ask a question, get your Bencho privilege. That's patreon.com/CoffeeWithChrachel. Got some cool-ass rewards there. You can help support the show. But
so what's the first one we got here, Chris?
First one is not really a question, but it's Jax, and she has informed us that she has finished Life is Strange and honestly does not know how to feel.
I feel like everyone felt that way.
Yes, and she said
my thoughts are with you.
BAE instead of BAY.
Intrigue.
Which
that
is
was
what
our
we
choice.
did too, and honestly, I'm sorry that you made that choice.
But the other ending they made longer.
Yes,
and
I recommend going and watching that, Jax. If you have not yet, go watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it's very pretty and
it's
a lot
just,
better.
It's really frustrating because, like, they clearly had, they give you, like, one final large decision, but there's clearly one that they had in mind that was, like, more, I don't know, cohesive to the story. Yes. And that's why they made it, like, literally minutes, like, 10 minutes longer than the other one. And I'm like, okay, so clearly our choice really doesn't matter because you know how they want it to play out, and I think that's kind of fucked. So that was my little
That's our little input.
my little rant about that.
Margarita asks, on an episode you guys talked about Hey Arnold and mentioned that it was probably based in Philadelphia, but did you guys know that the creator said the show's setting is actually based in Seattle?
What?
That, doesn't make any sense to me because just the style of the homes that they had looked very Philadelphia.
It does.
Or
it looks like Philadelphia row homes.
Or at least New York, Brooklyn maybe.
And didn't he go to school PS 118? I know that was public school, but I don't know, for some reason.
Philadelphia school maybe.
Yeah, for some reason as a kid, I always thought that was Philly. Wow.
I would have never in a million years guessed because I don't recognize anywhere in the city that looks like that.
I gotta rewatch that show.
Yeah, honestly, maybe we should take another look.
Is that on Netflix?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't really know.
I heard that they're gonna be making a movie soon.
Oh.
I don't think it's gonna be live action.
Movie.
I hope it's. I hope it's
just animated. Yeah, because that would be weird.
Think about how ugly they'd be live.
Yeah, that's
gross. What kind of prosthetics are you gonna do to make all of those different head shapes? Even Gerald too.
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that? Okay.
Speaking of TV shows, though, Orange is the New Black's coming out tonight.
Yeah, tonight at midnight.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to catch that.
Is it midnight East Coast?
Yeah, so we'll probably honestly get it at 9.
Sick. I love living on the West Coast for that.
The
House of
TV
Cards
thing, getting award shows not at 9 o'clock at night.
I would honestly suggest moving to the West Coast just for the award shows. Nobody wants to be watching the most important Oscar at 11:30 at night. You're done.
Yeah.
You had to watch a bunch of crap before you got to that point. Here, it's 6. It's so nice. Honestly, one of the best things about moving here that we discovered.
We watch Food Network Star at 6 o'clock.
Exactly. It's great.
It's really great. All right, and last one here from Patreon. Jennifer has asked, this summer I lived in an apartment in Chicago, and I'm 4 hours away from my family. I was here for college, but with almost all my friends' homes for the summer, it doesn't feel like home. So I'm happy to be here, and I think it was a right decision, but I didn't anticipate how different it would be to be in the city with only one friend nearby who has a very different work schedule than I do. How did you make Seattle feel homey? What helped you through the transition?
Okay, honestly, if I were just by myself, that's exactly how it felt when we first moved here.
Yes.
Because we really did. We only knew Zach.
Yeah.
And we had each other, and I think that really helped. So we're lucky in that respect. But to make it feel homey, I think surrounding myself with familiar things in my apartment was helpful because, of course that's going to be helpful. But really making my apartment somewhere that I really enjoyed being,
yes.
I think was helpful because sometimes you move into an apartment and it's temporary. And even if it was our last apartment, we made homey, even though we knew we only wanted to be there for 2 years maximum.
Yeah, I was not particularly fond of that apartment, but I felt something when we left there because it was the place that we first moved here, and it felt like home to me.
Yeah, it was the only place that was familiar because we would always come back to it.
Yeah.
So, even if you're going to be living in a temporary housing situation, trying to make the most of that, I think is really helpful. But also, the best way to feel at home in a new place is to be a regular at a restaurant, coffee place, lunch spot, and get to be recognizable by the people that work there. That way they greet you, and there's just something so satisfying about seeing a familiar face when you literally in Seattle I didn't know anyone, and I wasn't expecting you go to your hometown and you expect to see people or at least have seen before. Here I've never run into somebody on the streets, even though I do a lot of walking, that I knew. Oh, except for Lou. Once. Yeah. And that was it. So
the coffee shops all around our apartment, they're starting to know me by name now because I'm just stopping in there all the time, and it's just that makes it feel I'm here. This is where I'm rooted. These people know me.
Yeah, exactly. The rooting. That's because obviously, you're going to want to try and make friends, and, eventually you will. I never would have thought that I was going to be able to make friends, and now I'm, really satisfied with who I hang out with, and I just feel I don't know, you get rooted when you start like showing up to places more than once and people like expect you.
Yes.
And I mean, even like, all right, so I know mine's like a therapy appointment, but like having an appointment that's like weekly, whether it's like you're taking a class or like you go to like the same place like once a week, like having like people that you often see on your route there and like people that you see like in the office building or like wherever you're going, like I don't know, it helps me.
Yeah, kind of just like once you get like sort of routineness or like things that you do regularly, like it will start to feel as like home as it goes on.
The routine is really like important, but I'm assuming like if you don't work from home like me, you probably have a good routine. But yeah, our work schedule, like that was our problem with our friends here, and a lot of our friends here in Seattle don't live actually like in the city. They live like an hour or two outside of it, and so that part kind of sucks because it does make it hard to like hang out with people because they're not like right here. And like I often like will feel guilty if I, you know, am always inviting people to come to Seattle because I don't have a way of getting out to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, I don't know. That part for me is like always the hardest.
Yeah, so it took a little bit, but even by like the time that we moved out of our first place, like I said, it felt like really felt like home.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's take a look at the hashtag on Twitter.
If you ever want to leave us a question or something that you just think we want to talk about, you can always leave it in the hashtag CoffeeWithChrachel on most social media platforms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one's saying.
All right, so what to do if the person you're dating just isn't good in bed? Now, that could be tricky.
Yes.
I think maybe there's possibly like maybe they're nervous. Like if it's, I mean, I don't know. It depends on how long you've been dating them. Like you might either just think it's nerves or it could be like you've known for a while that this might just not be their best work in general. But I'd say like introducing like new positions, new locations, toys can help, you know, at least like to spice things up. And so that way it's not like boring. But I mean,
sometimes one of us will just like suggest doing like a different thing that we've never done before. And we'll just be like, okay,
cool.
Just try it. Like,
and that just always helps me, but like, I don't know. I know Chris doesn't have this problem because I'm really good in bed. So like, not to pat myself
you're not wrong.
Pat myself on the back there. But yeah, I guess really just like introducing new things, or like if you have to have like a conversation with them, be like, you know, like, is there like something that's wrong? Like, is there something that I'm doing that makes you feel uncomfortable or like shy? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Being open. Like, I mean, there are plenty of times where like I'll have to say like that I didn't like something or like vice versa, and you got to be able to like say those kinds of things because it's like not you don't want to have the person like take it personally.
Exactly, which can be hard when you're talking about that.
Yeah, but if you're just being honest and you guys both want to like keep it going good, then I think it's worth it.
So I have here, what's the most complicated Starbucks order you've had to make? I'll do most complicated Starbucks order I've asked for.
That I've had to make? Oh, I mean, I do remember it was like 6 pump chai and then a pump of hazelnut, a pump of vanilla, and a pump of cinnamon dolce and 5 ice cubes.
Oh, I love that one. The 5 ice cubes lady. She was great.
I can't remember if it was 4 pump chai or 5, but it was like in a tall.
That's
it was
a lot of syrup. Ew.
And the chai has a lot of sugar in it, and then she added literally a pump of like 3 other different types of sugar. And like, yeah, you add milk to that maybe.
But it's a tall. That's so gross.
It was so gross, honestly. And then the 5 ice cubes. Like, it's not even cold. It's not even cold.
Mm-hmm. The most complicated I get is I like to get this drink, and so does Rachel too, but it's a Quad Grande 2 pump white mocha extra hot.
It's not that complicated.
It's not that complicated, but like
it's just a 16-ounce white mocha with half the syrup, and you want extra shots.
Yeah,
and you want it extra hot.
Yes,
because they don't make it hot enough, and then when you walk home with it. Like,
I always get my lattes extra hot, no matter what.
Yeah, like, if I'm, like, going somewhere and I, like, because I like to do the cute thing where I, like, stop by Chris's office on his lunch break and bring him coffee. And so, like, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to walk, you know what I'm saying? So I always get it extra hot.
Especially in the wintertime.
Except for that time that it was raining and I got foamy almond milk all over my tits. That was the worst.
You just came to me, you looked so wet and distraught.
I was so upset, and I was just trying to do a good, nice thing. Like, it was such a shitty day. Okay. Honestly, I'd love a debate on use of the word bitch, like where the line crosses from casual use to insult. I mean, I think it's usually pretty easy to tell when someone's just being like, hey, bitch, instead of, like, calling someone a bitch.
Like, I'm assuming, like, within friend groups, it's going to be, like, depending on how your friend group is, you're going to be totally fine with just saying, like, hey, bitch, what's up? Like, you know?
For me, like, I've noticed that I don't use that word as often, and I'll never, like, refer to another woman as a bitch, like, if I don't like them. Like, I don't use that word anymore. And when I was younger, I would. You know, I'd be like, oh, my God, she's such a bitch. Like, now, I would never say that because I think it's such a nasty word, and I do say binge a lot. Like, I really
binge
do
a lot, yeah. And whenever I say bitch, like I don't know. For me now, it's just like I say it and I feel the weight of that right now, and I never did that before, but like as time's gone on, and I don't use it as much. Yeah,
I know. I never hear you saying it other than like you saying like you're bitching about something.
Yeah, that's one way that I will use it, and I don't feel like that because I'm talking about myf in that moment.
That's
that
like
I'm
a
bitching about something.
I feel like it's a different word.
Yeah, that's a different word.
Or like when you'll be like, Squeezy's being a little bitch. But you say bitch. Yeah.
I say binge.
I know.
I don't even say bitch.
I really personally, like, I don't like hearing men say it. I just don't. And cunt, too. And I find that a lot of, like LGBT men will use those words because, like, it's, you know, like a feminine way of saying things, but I still feel the weight of that. And I just, any man, I really do not like saying the C word or the B word. Yeah, I'm just not into it.
Bitch is getting to the same level as the C word for me, like, and that, like, I never really say the C word.
Or slut, like,
that too.
I just, like, I say that about myself in a positive way.
Yes.
Like, I will say, like, I'm being slutty.
We only ever say that.
Or I am a slut and I love it. Like, I don't.
Yeah, we say that only ever in a positive connotation.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it is, like, there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, so.
But yeah, that's a good question.
So, like, right now we're watching Gossip Girl, which I am really enjoying, by the way, guys. Random.
There's so much problem with that show, but it's just a ride, so.
Yeah,
you know.
They're saying that, and it's, like,
you can watch
super
it as
derogatory. And it's like, oh, God.
And, like, that's what being a 16-year-old girl was. Like, you had all this internalized misogyny. You thought all women were threatening, and then you grow up and you realize we're all in this together and we all got the short straw. So let's fucking work. Tell me how you feel about bell peppers. Well, I feel very strongly about them.
I really like bell peppers.
Yeah.
I mean, I know your favorite of them is the red.
Yeah. Honestly, who prefers the green over the red?
I mean, I don't not like them being in there, but they don't nearly have as much flavor as the red.
Exactly.
I don't have the orange or the yellow too much to have an opinion.
They're pretty good.
But I like a nice medley of all bell peppers.
I like a nice medley of peps. That's fine.
Skylar medley.
Oh my God, hey!
All right, so I actually have an email question here.
Go for it.
Dear Mom and Dad, first of all, hey, my name is Allison. I love you both and have been a stan for Rachel ever since the rant video college dorm days. Oh. I'm looking for a bit of advice. My boyfriend is in the military and his deployment is coming up in July. He will be in a different country for the next 9 months. I know neither of you have experienced this exact situation, but I'm wondering if you have any advice for how to deal with the distance and the fact that he might find himself in some potentially dangerous situations. By the way, our relationship is totally stable and amazing, so that helps. Thanks for your wise words you may have.
Well, I think, like, in these situations where you're not going to be with him, I think, like, you're going to be leaning on your friends or your family. But especially your friends, I think socializing as much as you can or just having other people around you, like, even if it's just, like, low-key hangs in your house, I think is going to be really important. And I know that's what I would do in this situation. Like, I would just be, like, constantly, like, maybe having people sleep over, like, hanging out, like, in my house, like, just doing comforting things and then, like, going out with them and doing stuff because...
Yeah, that would really just, like, help pass the time a lot more.
True, and keeping busy especially, like, really pouring your heart into, like, a hobby or an activity or, like, a class or, like, something that, like, you can really focus on will also help, like, make the time go fast, you know?
Mm-hmm. And another thing that we don't know how this would work because, like, we don't know how communicating with people in the military is, but, like, depending on where they're going, but trying to have like a weekly or maybe a daily call or a FaceTime.
Yeah,
or
like setting
like
something
that.
up so it's like a date, you know?
Yeah, and like also just like really not, you guys said you have a good relationship, so I'm sure you are very, very trusting of each other, and just like knowing that like, you know, there's going to be times where maybe you are unable to talk for a couple of days, and just like knowing that like they're there and that they're
gonna want to talk to you as soon as they're not busy as fuck.
Yeah, they're missing you, and you guys just want to be together. But it sounds like you guys are gonna be able to, you know, make it through this, and we wish them all the best of luck.
Yeah, I've never done long distance.
Yeah.
So I feel like I never know quite what to say, but I've had a lot of friends that do it, and, you know, having like the time of the night where they talk to each other on the phone or via Skype, and also if you have the time to do those like things where you can both be watching a movie together, you know, like things like that really help.
Also, if you can send a care package every once in a while too.
Yeah.
Just like maybe some pictures and stuff like that.
Pictures, snacks. I don't know what regulations are, of course. Cause
probably again depends on where they're going to.
True, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
What type of YouTube Red show would you guys do?
Oh my god.
I would do like a raunchy cooking show. Like a dirty cooking show. Yeah,
obviously still keep the Crachel Cooks, you know, over
alive.
The top editing funness.
It
but
would
like
be
doing
quirky,
something different.
But with a high production value. Like it would be in a studio, and we'd have really good camera shots. And like it wouldn't be filmed on an iPhone. Like it would be better.
I would want to, every time one of us just like walked over to the sink and started washing our hands, that music would start playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not showing the clip, but just playing that music. That
just
would be so fucking funny. Oh my god, you're smacking.
I am having a big problem holding this phone. You know what I'm saying?
Oh fuck.
Okay, we did answer that last time. What
you
our
guys
thoughts
have been
were.
sending a lot of cat photos.
Oh, I know.
And it is really just jimmying my
crickets.
Jollies. I don't know where I was going with that.
I got, like, now I get in the P.O. box little Polaroids of other people's pets.
Yes.
And sometimes there's birds and dogs, and just, it's a great time.
There was also guinea pigs at one
point.
Yeah, I just enjoy all chunks of all types.
Chunks of all types. We're very inclusive of all chunks.
Tips for keeping cat hair from taking over your studio. TBH, sometimes it's just everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely is. And I mean, like, on TBH, we still struggle with this because, I mean, there's 2 cats here.
You pretty much just have to vacuum at least once a day. And it's like, or get those microfiber cloths that you can put on like a little Swiffer and just like sweep around that pick it all up. Mm-hmm. I did see there was like a slipper set that, have you ever seen those things that are like microfiber, but they look like little nubbies that you clean like a computer screen with?
Yeah.
They kind of look like fringe, but they're like really soft. But it's like that in slipper form, and all you do is like walk around and it picks up all the hair.
That would be really kind of helpful. I could just be walking and cleaning at the same time.
Like you could get it from all angles, the hair. It is a pain in the ass though. It's like the number one thing about having a cat that you just kind of have to like accept.
That's gonna happen.
Or dog too. My dog, oh my god, he was a fucking like a lab, and it was a yellow lab, so he had like really like light hair, and he shed a lot, and I've been covered in dog hair honestly for like the last 15 years.
I've had cat hair for like ever all over me, so
it's okay.
If you can also brush your cat, if they allow you to do that. Yeah,
that really helps though, getting the hair that's like gonna be already falling off them before it falls off onto your floor. Lila really likes it. Squeezy could pass. Can you discuss what it's been like being bi in this current climate with what's happened in Orlando, and how have you been? I did read an article that my friend Avery posted on my Facebook wall, which I could always tweet, that kind of summed up my thoughts, where, you know, well, first of all, like, I don't want to make this situation about me, you know, and my feelings. Like, obviously I've been impacted by this situation, but I don't think that, like, my feelings on it should be thought of over the people that are survivors or have family members or, you know, friends that have lost someone, you know, so.
Exactly.
But, like, as a bisexual, it's a little, you know, you don't really hear that word. I mean, Obama did bring it up in his speech.
He literally just spelled out LGBT, like, all, like saying them all out.
He said them all, yeah. And, I mean, of course, like on the internet, more people have been inclusive, but like the way that I've been hearing other politicians talk, or like just other people in general, like they have just been throwing like the gay umbrella over everything. And so it does, like I honestly feel a little weird in these situations because, like, I mean, I don't know if anybody in the club was bi, like we don't know that. And so I don't know.
As we're moving closer to like, I feel like now they're just trying to lump up everybody in the spectrum under gay.
Yeah.
Just gay.
I know.
And so, like, I guarantee you, like, not a lot of people are even saying, like, I don't know if anybody that was killed was transgender. I know that, like, there was people, like, there was... They had a show that night. Yeah, they had a show that night. And so, like, I bet your ass, like, not a lot of people are saying that just because of the whole bathroom thing that's going on.
I know.
And so, like...
I just think a lot of people, like, think about it in the way where it's, like, you feel a little, like, not gay enough to, like, be showing publicly how affected you are by these events. But, like, like, if I were dating a woman right now, I would be at risk. And I still feel like I am at risk because I am publicly known. Yeah. And, like, I think about that kind of shit. Like, I'm on LGBT panels, and I get scared about these things now because, like, I am putting myself out there as someone that is part of a minority group. And even though, like, I'm proud to be bisexual, there is something scary about making that so known to other people. And so, and the fact that I am dating you, like, people like to assume that, like, bisexuals that are, in quote unquote heterosexual relationships, which once again, it's not like, if one person's not heterosexual, like, what? So, people like to think, like, well, there's a certain privilege that comes with that because I'm technically, like, passing.
You're straight passing.
But then there's also lesbians that are femme, and then there's the whole femme invisibility with lesbians where they're passing for straight, quote unquote. I'm using lots of air quotes right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, where is the line? Like, I think anyone in the LGBT community right now is shook. Like,
definitely.
Anyone. And if you're bisexual, asexual, trans, and you're not being, like, thought of in these moments, and you're being heavily affected by, like, you just got to know that, like, you're part of the fucking family, and you have every right to be feeling the things that you're feeling, because it is scary. And it is awful. And, I do have many LGBT plus friends that, either live in Florida or are going to Pride events. And, like, it's just, it affects all of us. And, yeah, I mean, those are really my thoughts. But honestly, my thoughts have mostly just been on gun reform.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Like, and not even really thinking about my own identity, because, like, I think if anybody were to, like, question my emotions on this subject, I would just be like, are you how insensitive are you?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because right now, like, I'm focused.
It's not just, like, getting the change happening right now.
Yeah, because I'm focused on this getting fucking fixed. Because that's the most important thing, I think, that can be done right now.
So if you want to, I found a quiz, or actually somebody sent us this quiz that we can take to find out what our zodiac sign should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just going to say Pisces for me.
It probably will just say Pisces for you.
Let's do this.
Mine will finally figure out what I should be.
Are you going to start reading the horoscope?
I will start reading the horoscope for whatever this tells me and see if it matches. If it matches me.
All right, I got it loaded up here. It says, let's play.
All right, so the first question here is, if your friends had to describe you in one word, what would they choose? And we have enthusiastic, independent, peaceful, loyal, clever, ambitious, reliable, and compassionate. I'm going to say independent.
Okay, I'm going to pick compassionate.
Okay. What would you prefer to read? We've got motivational and self-help books, thrillers and crime novels, romance novels. I don't read. Factual and autobiographies, or magazines.
Thrillers and crime novels.
Me too. That's definitely what I'm going for.
You get lost hiking in the hills. What do? Rely on your friend/partner to find a way back. Panic and or cry. I don't know. There's too many decisions. This wouldn't happen. I hate hiking. Set up your tent for the night, or use your cell phone to call for help. Okay, what if you do, like, a mix of, like, 3 of these?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, first I would probably...
Panic. Sorry.
I'm gonna say use my cell phone to call for help or use maps. But like if I don't get signal, then I'm gonna panic.
Yeah, I'm gonna say realistically, my first move would be to panic, and then I would use my cell phone, but like,
yeah, I'm gonna pick cell phone.
Okay. You find yourself trapped on a desert island.
Man, we're just deserted everywhere.
I know. Which of the following items would you want with you? My friends and or partner, paper and writing utensils, iPhone and Kindle, none of these choices, nails and a hammer, clothes and makeup, or flares and a lighter.
You find yourself trapped on a desert island. Which of these following items? I want a boat with me. None of these choices. I want a fucking boat.
I'm between my friends or partner or flares and a lighter.
I'd want a boat. There's clearly a dock.
I'm gonna say
this
friends.
picture of an island.
I don't want to be alone in this. I'm sorry. Like two people can lift up a coconut, you know?
If it's true that opposites attract, what traits do you look for in a significant other?
Okay.
We have none of the above, creative and adventurous, sensitive and caring, confident and well-groomed, witty and clever, passionate and independent, charming and mysterious, sensible and down-to-earth. I'm going to say sensitive and caring.
I was going to say sensible and down to earth.
Okay. All right. Your idea of a great first date is fucking 50 first dates. What the fuck? None of the above. Going to an art gallery or a theater. Going to an aquarium or zoo. That's fucking new. Mm-hmm. Something different like paintballing.
No.
Going to the cinema. A walk on the beach. Dinner at an expensive restaurant.
Ooh.
Going to a quiet coffee house with a musical performance. Great first date. I'm going to say going to a coffee house because I don't want to go to a movie on a first date.
Okay, I wanted to say aquarium, but like honestly, I'm too nerdy for that to be the first date. I feel like you got to be dating me for a year to let me make voices.
Handle you in an aquarium.
Yeah, because me in an aquarium is like, wow, look at the whale exoskeleton. Like, okay, there's not. They don't have an exoskeleton.
Like, that is Rachel.
Okay, so I'm gonna also say, dinner at an expensive restaurant is very me though.
Yeah. That was my second choice.
Okay, quiet coffee, yeah. Okay, what is the quality you least like about yourself? Unemotional, skeptical, distrustful of others, vain, oversensitive, impatient, lazy, indecisive. I'm gonna say oversensitive.
I'm gonna say unemotional.
It's so true. We're opposites on that one,
yes.
like guys. When choosing a gift for a friend, what do you tend to go for? Something fun and different, something luxurious, something practical, something handmade, I don't give presents, and something traditional.
I'm gonna go for something fun and different.
I was gonna say that too.
Okay.
If I'm being honest.
Pick a color. We got black, purple, red, white, navy, sea green, pink, and yellow.
We going for sea green.
That's what I'm going for too. I feel like we're picking enough different ones that we won't have the same.
Let's hope, guys. Which of the four elements do you feel most connected to?
I already know your answer for this.
I know. Fire, water, air, and earth. Water.
Earth. I feel most connected to Earth.
You picked Earth?
Yes.
That's pretty sweet.
It's calculating.
It's
thinking.
I'm the fish.
You're a Pisces?
Duh.
Oh my god, I can't believe
I am a Pisces.
Shit.
Like through and through. It says, you are extremely sensitive and imaginative and often express yourself through writing poetry or music. Like most Pisces, you are adaptable and enjoy new adventure, new situations, and social events. Oh, okay, let's not be Pisces. Pisces are open-minded and accepting of others, true. They make very loyal friends, but often get too caught up in others' problems. No, I don't fucking have time for other people's problems. If you weren't born a Pisces, you should have been. Girl, I was.
All right, I got Sagittarius.
Ooh.
It says just like most people of the Sagittarius sign born 22nd of November to 22nd of December, you seem to be guided by luck, and your cheery personality and optimism attract good fortune. Independence is extremely important to you, and you welcome adventure, change, and the unknown with open arms. Due to the Sagittarius' adventurous lifestyle, they are natural conversationalists. Conversationists. I don't know if that's spelled
I thought you were going to say composting.
If you're not a Sagittarius, you should have been. I still don't even feel like that.
Girl,
right.
I don't know if this got you.
Honestly, I don't think I'm too complex to fit into a certain zodiac.
You're that zodiac they added. What is that, like Xenon?
Oh, yeah, whatever that 13th zodiac is.
The 13th Mermion. We still haven't watched it.
I know, we still have not watched that.
We're fucking trash.
Fuck?
Well, alright, that was something else. I guess it's time to get into Bincherino Town.
Yes, so thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's been fabulous.
Thanks for having a cup of coffee with little old us.
Yes, just again, if you have any questions for our special guest next week, send them over to CoffeeWithChrachel@gmail.com.
Yes.
So we will see you on Sunday.
Cool. My coffee cup is very full.
Yes.
And so I was very slow at the clink there because I just poured myself some more.
We're playing with the acoustics of our clinks.
We're playing with fire.
Playing with fire. All right. So the benches this week, this is what you are doing on your day off.
Oh, this is nice.
You know, nice relaxing times.
All right, so let's start it off with Nicole, who is taking a long walk in the cold, brisk air.
Carissa is carousing around on a motorcycle.
Sloan Nolan is taking pictures with a sloth at the zoo.
Ray Vendiero is catching some sun rays for a nice tan.
Sarah Booth is going to the Sunday market to check out all the fun booths.
Allison Sense is trying to pick a new Food Network sensation while watching Food Network Star.
Amazing. Hunter Curtis is hunting for achievements in video games.
Megan Rackley is racking up a new high score in Peggle. Us.
Me. Skylar Medley is premiering a medley of Rachel Cook recipes.
Taylor Collins is calling their best friend to catch up.
Heather Ann is campaigning at an animal rights rally.
Sloan Fuller is online shopping and your carts couldn't be fuller.
Amazing. Emma Corbeil is taking a CPR training course.
Danielle Manus is yelling at a political rally.
Kate Convery is taking a trip to a YouTube convention.
Oh, not a conversation. Angelica Feliz is driving to Los Angeles for a day vacation.
Sarah Cook is cooking a fabulous 3-course meal.
Jennifer Cornwell is getting lost in a corn maze.
Sophia Cock is getting cocky as they dominate this chess tournament.
Ash Rozelle is making an Ash Ketchum cosplay.
Nicole Allen is having a colonoscopy.
Not a good way to spend your day off.
No.
Cody Castillo is coding the new app you've been working on.
Beth Fonseca is taking a decadent bath.
Cornelia Thulin is testing out a new cornbread recipe.
Sophie Adams is lounging on the sofa watching copious amounts of Food Network.
Christina Contreras is studying up on the countries you'll be visiting this summer.
Megan Grint is grinning as they slide down a water slide.
Jade Holden is holding on tightly as they ride the steep roller coaster.
Allison Dowell is grabbing a towel because they're going to the pool.
Catherine Simpson is binge-watching The Simpsons from start to finish.
Bridget Carey Davis is playing some games at Dave & Buster's.
Never been there.
Me neither.
Marlene Naj is deep-sea fishing and just caught a marlin.
Wow. Gio Castro is looking at geodes on a cavern tour.
Cater Liriano is picking a caterer for their soiree.
Rebecca O'Donnell is swatching Becca products in Sephora. Me.
Kendall Berg is at a Pitbull concert saying Dale.
Amazing. Allie McGregor is going to post Allie in Seattle to put some gum on the wall.
Ew. Megan Grilly is hosting a picnic and firing up the grill.
Chloe Killup is killing time until the new episode of The Walking Dead comes on.
Interesting. Ian Murphy is feeding some goats at a petting zoo.
Cassandra Buckout is sanding the bookcase they built.
Maddie Pullman is at an international festival eating some Polish food.
Amanda Marie is marathoning the Harry Potter movies.
Jane Shell is shelling out big bucks for an IMAX movie.
Jackie Bergiulio is buying that Burberry jacket they've been eyeing up.
That's a good purchase. Camellia Malky is on a shopping spree at the mall.
Caitlin Whalen is taking a day-long whale-watching cruise.
Hannah Neely is kneeling in the dirt to get down to some gardening.
Lucy Ravenscroft is getting crofty with a hot glue gun.
Cody Robinson is taking some National Geographic level photos of a robin.
Tegan Anderson is steeping some tea and meditating.
Lauren Chavon is shivering because they did the polar bear plunge.
Oh my god, that's not something I would do, honestly. Taco Roach is going on a late-night run to Taco Bell.
Allison Francois is building a pond for some koi fish.
Haley Cadwaller is going rock wall climbing.
Sarah Seaman is going to the beach and swimming in the sea.
Dana Daly is taking a break from their daily agenda to do some yoga.
Megan Wilson is reenacting Castaway with a Wilson volleyball.
Me, alone in my room. Jackie Lampo is marathoning National Lampoon movies.
Claire Wood is taking some pics in the woods for their Instagram.
Kelly Adams is adding items to their grocery list.
Getting those chores done. Hannah Peterson is handing out flyers for your band's concert next week.
Jenna Gordonier is tasting some Gorgonzola cheese at a cheese festival.
Sasha Smith is sashaying as they sang in their group choir.
Sarah is playing laser tag and is scared of getting tagged out.
Bridget Dubin is bungee jumping off of a bridge.
My God, lit. Lynn Vance is taking advantage of this free time to do some spring cleaning.
Jax is breaking out the Jack Daniels for a wild night.
Hillary Gay is playing an intense game of Scrabble.
Anna Hernandez is trying to solve the crime in this Nancy Drew game.
Good luck. Jennifer Holtz is holding a Kindle as they catch up on books they've missed.
Courtney White is going on a whitewater rafting adventure.
Elizabeth Doles is getting dolled up for a night on the town.
Shelley Smith is threading a puka shell necklace for their 90s themed party.
Mackenzie Knight is at a Renaissance fair dressed as a knight.
And Rachel Evans is eventually going to get a day off.
Oh, Rachel.
Rachel, I'm so sorry.
Honestly, Rachel is the new Blevo.
The Blevmeister.
The Blevmeister.
Shout out to the Blevmeister. Okay, so what are the other benches
Ripping
doing?
benches. Okay, the rest of the benches, I would say day off. I'd say everybody is at Trader Joe's, and that's why it's so fucking crowded.
True, that parking lot, guys.
Oh my God, that parking garage. Fuck it. And we got Allie Malone,
Mariah Hanna,
Kathleen Wynn,
Zoe Yarmolick,
Elizabeth Hallbrook,
Rose Barnett,
and Megan Preyes. I almost was like, where's Jax? And then she was up there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. We hope you had a great day off. And if you didn't have a day off,
if you're listening to this on one of your days where you're actually doing things and not having a day off,
we hope we gave you an hour off, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, we will see you guys on Sunday as well.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.